Right. Pretty much I did the progress on adding a node using shared application file system on Oracle Enterprise Linux 8, which I'll be, you know, uh, which I'll be sharing next week onwards. So now if you can see that, I have added, the both the nodes here, node 1 and node 2. And application is also running fine. This time you'll be like, I created a DNS server. This is a little different what I've done earlier. I used for the load balancer and also for the scan IP. So DNS I never set up. So I have a separate server called DNS. So here one I can use the scan IP and one I can use this, one I used for the load balancer. Very interesting stuff. I've been I think 1 to 2 years I've been trying, but in between I neglected, but I found a very good notes. So and I successfully used for my scan IP. So very simple, but the correct steps you should find. So separate server now for me, DNS server. I have my own machine, and I have two servers like application one and application two. Everybody can do. That's the thing. See, I wanted to give a solution which everybody can implement in their your homes. So
Hello, sir.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, sir. Yesterday you told that there is a problem with this DNS server. It's okay now?
Yeah. Now I was like whole day, whole Sunday I worked on this. So there was a small one mistake I was doing. So I rectified it. And now it's working. So my DNS is working fantastic now. So I configured a lot of things. It was a small fix, but it took different things. So very interesting stuff we'll be doing from next week onwards. I just want to give you a thing. So so if you can see in the if you can see in the console, you are seeing all this. We will also add new servers because in our company we have added new servers also. I'll show that one also. So it will be a very interesting thing from next week onwards. 3 guys have registered for that, so they'll also join for this advanced advanced batch. It will be very interesting. So just wanted to just want to tell you that Pound I tried. Pound is also a little successful, but for that you need a rack environment. For the Pound software use, again you're dependent on rack. You need a rack instance, then it will work. But with this you don't need a rack. You just need a one server, a DNS server, and just 3 or 4 files. 3 or 4 files you just have to modify. I found a bit. The thing is, you need to find a good nodes. That's the thing. So I found a very good nodes, and I'm using for 2 purposes. One for the scan IP, and I was going with Windows 2016. That also will be very difficult for many of you to implement. So then this is the most simplest thing. Like you have a separate server where you will have all your DNS entries. So actually, if you have this DNS entries, the advantage is you don't need to have an entry in your in your local machine. In etc host you don't need the advantage is like if you have 100 servers, we cannot give 100 servers in etc host, right? In etc host, every machine you cannot go into etc host. So instead of that, in most of the companies, what they will have a DNS server. So they just update their their entries in the DNS server. That's all. So that's the reason in your company, right? In your companies, normally your etc host, you don't need to make an entry. How that is possible? Because they will they will have an entry in their DNS. Normally Linux administrator will do, but now I honestly I was like trying for a very long time. So luckily I could crack it, and I'm going to tell you from next week onwards. So I'm just getting ready for that. Okay. So with that in mind, so just wanted to motivate you on this, like what's going on. So now let us come back to our original server. So I'll just start one database, and today we'll proceed with the okay. So today we'll be starting on AD admin, and couple of topics are there. So we will work on them. So most important AD utilities, there are, of course, you have seen that there are so many utilities which we are going to cover today, right? But most important utilities are, one is ADOP. You need to know in and out of ADOP, and other one is AD admin, right? AD admin. So AD admin, you can run by executing this command called AD admin. So then you can make you enter the system password and apps password. So now what we need to do is we need to know all these options. So today I'll be covering this 4 of these options, right? So if you see the first option, here you can generate the message file, generate form file, generate report file, generate product jar files, right? I'll just show you this generate form files, like how you execute it. So for that, what you have to do, you have to run this command, generate form files, and you have to enter the workers. So by default, it has given me whatever is the number of CPUs, it has given me that option. So here, your application can be up. Your application can be up. Either you can select all. You can select all. You can select all. Then, or what you have to do is you can enter any specific product. Like, it is very rare that you enter all. All means for all the products. No, I don't want to enter all the products. Like, for example, I want to enter GL, PO, inventory, right? GL, PO, inventory. So like, you can enter your products. So what I'll do, I'll enter only 2 products because I don't know how much time it takes. So you enter GL and PO, then it'll ask you, hey, are you interested in compilation of only these 2? Okay. So yes, if you say no, again, you wanted to compile all the products. So here I'm telling I want to compile GL and PO. Then it will give you all the any languages. In our case, we only have US language. So I'm selecting all. Right. So now it will give you the PLL files, what you want to compile. It will give the purchase order PO PLL files, GL files. So in this, suppose there is a problem in one of the file, you can enter only that file also. You can enter only that file also. Either you enter all, or you can enter only one file also. So yeah, so like that, even for purchase order, there is only problem with one PO. So you can enter that particular thing. Otherwise, by default, it will compile all the forms, right? I say enter. So now it will create. It creates the job, and it starts compiling this. So this activity sometimes you may have to do, and whenever this job is being created, you can run, like yesterday I showed you, right? You can run the AD controller. So you can also run AD controller, and we can monitor the jobs. Right? See, now the jobs are running, so you can monitor if any problem comes. Only when ADOP or AD admin is running, you can you can run this AD controller, right? So yeah, so this is also one activity, an apps DBA. Sometimes you may have to compile all the forms. If Oracle says, or they tell you, okay, only one form is having a problem. Only while signing you're having a problem. So you may have to compile only that form. But for this, you are normally I can keep my application up. The source form is correct, is not the FMB, and the compiled form is FMX. The source form is the source code is from FMB. The compiled is FMX, right? Compiled version FMX, right? And sometimes you may have to compile your custom forms, right? Normally you have to compile the custom form. So how do you do that? So F60 gen is in 11i. So in 12 normally we use this FRM batch for all the custom forms. So the source code is normally the FMB file, FMB. The compiled will be FMX file. So sometimes we have to compile that because the AD admin will not compile your custom forms. So in case if you want to compile, see, even this is a like a code migration. People who are working in apps DBA. So you may have to do the migration from UAT to production or development to production. So they give you the FMB. You have to keep the FMB in under this particular directory only. So this is the correct form. So any FMB has to be in this location only. Then you do the compile. The runtime, the FMX file should go to the independent custom top forms US. This is the system which has been followed from generations, and there is no change. Okay, so this is completed, right? Now this is completed. So at the end, these two tables are also dropped. So similarly, now the same thing, even it comes to reports also. The third one is even comes to reports also. So it will ask you the things. So same even so here also I say I only want to compile GL. For GL, right, the RDP, there is nothing like REP or something like that. So the source code, the compiled code is the same. So here, the same. See here, this is complete the source code, and also the runtime also is the same thing. So I will just say, for example, there is a problem with this RDF. So I just only select that. So now it will only compile that RDF, right? Okay, so just I will just go through this. Yeah, you will have file generation, file system, maintenance task, database maintenance task. So this is fine. So you are prompted, and at the end the log files. So yeah, the location of the log files is very important for you, because you may expect some problems. Like in this case we have only worker. So where is the log file? So log file, you can come out from this. And then you will get the you will get this log file to just see what is the problem happening here, right? So otherwise it is like any base. So yeah, you can either go any base, and where are the log files? See, when you are working, right, a lot of pressure will be there. So better to know the locations of these files, so if the problem is with AD worker worker 1, so you have to open that log file, go to the end of the thing and see if any errors are there. Then you'll get some some solution. This is only for ADOP and AD admin. Wherever the workers management, not for all the comments of AD admin, but wherever the workers, if it is asking workers, so then you will have this workers thing. Okay. So generate message files, right? So sometimes after applying a patch, Oracle may ask you to generate a message file. Only when Oracle asks you. So with my experience, what I seen is sometimes Oracle asks you to generate the message file after you apply a patch. So then we will just generate it. That's all. After the post. Okay, here also I'll enter only GL. Right. So it will here. So there will be only one message file called us.msb. For every language, you'll have one message file. That's all. Oracle says you, then you have to run that generate message file. Generate forms we have seen, generate reports, generate product jar files we do. So normally when there is something like a code certificate, I don't know how many people know this code certificate. So sometimes when you open the Oracle applications, you will get some Java, Java related warning messages. So if you want to avoid it, in some companies the company will purchase a code sign certificate. So code sign certificate is for the entire organization. It's not like SSL certificate. SSL certificate is also one thing. Code sign certificate is also one thing. Code sign certificate is just to avoid these warning messages. So during the implementation, I still remember that we are told to run this generate the product jar files. So if at all you need to run, if somebody tells you to run for some requirement, then sometimes they tell you to you enter forcefully. So if they tell, you have to say yes also, right? That's all, right? So that is what is generate the jar file. Generate message files we have seen. Generate form files I showed you. Yeah, it basically takes the FMB and compiles it and brings the FMX file. So you may need to perform this task when you are having issues with form. This is the one. So you may need to, let me underline this, because why we need to do this? So that is very important. So you may need to perform this task when you are having issues with a form or a set of forms, or when you are adding a product using a licensed language. So for all these three activities, sometimes you may have to generate the form files. So this is okay. We have seen this. Now, similarly, report files. Yeah. Then product jar files, which you have seen. So this task generate product jar files, which may on occasion may be required. Other function, like see, I told you it basically for signing the jar files and recreating the Java libraries. For that requirement, you have to do. Yeah, I'm honestly at least 80% of the commands you will be running in your lifetime. Being an apps DBA like 5-6 years, you will be running all of these commands. Right. See, you have to choose yes only for when generating jar files after upgrading the Oracle Developer Technology Stack. So suppose you have updated the 10.1.3 version or 10.1.2 version, then only you have to enter the yes. You have to, otherwise by default it is no. Or after changing the digital sign certificate or updating your Java version. In these three cases, you have to say yes. Otherwise it is no. Yeah. So that is the first one. Now we'll come to the second option. Second option is 2. Okay, let me see. Or relink application programs. Yeah, sometimes we do. Copy files to destination, very rare. Convert character sets, very rare. Maintain snapshot whenever you're adding a language. If you then you may have to come to this maintain snapshot. Only while adding a language, I came to that. Or Oracle says that, hey, you need to run this snapshot in all the servers. So you may have like a couple of servers you may have to run. Check for missing files is like if you suspect some of the files are missing, then you run this. Okay. So relink application program sometimes, for some issues, you may have to run it if Oracle says, hey, relink the applications. So there are relinking are of two types. One is application programs. One is utilities also, because AD admin, ADOP, they may also have some issues. So sometimes you have to relink them also. How do you do that? That there is separate command called adrelink.sh that we will see later on. But this is for relink application programs, is only for our products. Like for example, if I say 1, so do you want to proceed? Yes. Right. It is asking you the environment file. So again, it will ask you for whether all products are one product I'm entering. So to just make it. So again, if it asks you to debug information, if Oracle says it, you have to say yes. Otherwise, by default, you take no. So again, I just don't want to. These are all the executables of GL. So I just don't want everything. I just want to recompile only the product of GL. So that's all. It will recompile, like you C programming, something like compilation. So this will compile all these programs and does it, huh? So that's what is this. So copy. Okay, we'll see our follow the document also. Most important thing is when you run, when you run an activity. So the relink application program options allows you to relink executive programs that used by Oracle eBusiness. Now we'll tell you when you have to run it. Right. So this relink Oracle eBusiness binary executable, which needs to be done, installs a. So when you install a new version of a database or a technology stack, or you're installing a underlying technology component used with Oracle eBusiness, or when you apply a patch on eBusiness technology stack, or you apply a patch on operating system, or you include a new or a changing third party or a custom code, then in that cases, you may have to run the relink application programs, right? This copy files to destination is, so this task copies from product area to central location. So there is something like a common top, right? There is something like a common top. So this option can be used to upgrade the a central location where they can easily be referenced by non-application program. This option uses revision-based copy logic to ensure that destination file versions are same or higher than the source file destination. This option can be used to update the Java, HTML, and media in the common directory if users have it. So only when you are having some issues, so there is something. What I mean to say is you have something like a central location. Okay, you have some central location, and also each product will also have some Java, HTML, and media files. So if at all you want to copy these files to the central location, by default it is copied. But in case if you feel that something has happened or something like there are some user is facing some issues, then you have to. But in my career, I have never run this copy files to destination. This convert character set is also very rare. Whenever you want to correct, whenever you change a database character set, you change a character set, US7 ASCII to UTF-8, for example. Then it's a very big change. You have to change in the database. First, you have to change the database character set. That is a separate procedure. A DBA should know. Very rare thing. Then then in the application also you have to change, because application character set also has to be changed. How do you do that? By running that the third command. Okay. So see, it will basically to give you these three options. The first step is it will scan the AppleTop for exemption if any lousy files are there. It will scan the custom directory. Then finally you do a character set conversion. So that is the third option. Very rare, but if you have to do, then you have to do. There is no other option, right? No other option, right? So then we come to this maintain snapshot. This one I have run practically. Okay. Just before that, copy files to destination. Basically, it copies the Java files to central location Java top. Product HTML files to common top, a copy to this OAH top, media files to OAM top. So this is all the central locations. I just wanted to show that. Okay, convert character set we have seen. Yeah, this maintain snapshot, I have seen this. I worked when I was adding a language, or sometimes Oracle says that, hey, actually what happens is, in practically, if you see, every time you apply a patch, right? Every time you apply patches, what it does, it actually brings some files. So somewhere this has to be recorded. So it will be recorded in basically in some tables. It will be recorded in some tables. Those tables are, these are the three tables. So if you have seen after applying the patch at the end, it tells you that it's updating the snapshot. So basically what it does is every time you apply a patches, right, then actually these three tables will get updated. Sometimes it may be out of sync, especially when there are 2 or 3 applications. I never faced with one application, but if at all you will have 2 or 3 applications, then they may be out of sync. Then Oracle says that please run this snapshot in all the Apple tops. So how do you run that? Just run that fourth command. It will take a very long time. It will take a very long time. So again, here see so many commands are there. In all of them, normally we run the second one, update the current view snapshot. So when you run this, it will basically update the complete Apple top. Again, it is giving me 4 options. So for example, I will just take the third one, update a product top, and it will ask you enter the product. I'm entering AD. So now, yeah, so it does, it takes all the files and then it will update the table. This is the only option what you will be using. So very rare. See, it is taking a lot of things and does a lot of updates. So that is a thing. But while adding a language, I have, so sometimes if you have run this command, you'll be more confident. So like what am I talking is because I have used this option. Oracle, once it told to run this maintain snapshot in all the Apple tops, we had 2 application servers, so we have executed it. So snapshot gives a picture of a selected apps files in given Apple top. They record details for each file. That's more important. Actually, you observe this. When you apply the patch at the end of the thing, it will tell you updating the snapshots, right? It is updating the snapshot. So by default, there will be a base snapshot. Every time you apply a patches, the snapshot will get updated. So they also record summary information about the patches that have been applied to Apple top. The maintain snapshot command task stores information about these files, file versions, and bug fixes present in the Apple top. So choose this option to record the current set of files and the file versions in your Apple top. You don't run every now and then, okay? You don't run every now and then. Only when Oracle says, or sometimes, there is something like some of the patches may have this says that it has to be compatible feature prereq. So in that cases only we have to run this particular maintain snapshot. So check missing files is like if you doubt somebody has deleted some files, if you doubt, actually I never used it. If at all I doubt somebody has deleted the files, I normally restore from the backup. I doubt how Oracle does that. He has given it. You doubt that somebody has deleted the file, then you can run it. You can go for it, but still, if you're doubting it, right? Then what you can do is then you can use that. From your backups you'll have wherever the backups are there, from there you will restore it. So actually, if you see, you get this command. When you get this, so whenever one activity is running, because here one activity is being run, and when you run again AD-admin, again you're running AD-admin, you'll get this message. So you should never terminate this. If you terminate it, then other person, like there is another DBA who is running this, right? His work will be disturbed, right? So that's what I just want to tell you. But if you, in case if you just want to terminate it for whatever reasons, then you can say, do you wish to continue with the previous session? No, I don't want to continue. I want to have a fresh session of my own. So I will say yes. So first you have to say no, then you have to say yes. Then what will happen is the other session will get killed. Right. If you see this now, the session will be killed. Let's see. So, okay. So now I got my own session. Yeah. Yeah, tell me. Tell me.
Sir, if someone asks like define snaps not, hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if the question is asked like define snapshot, how is snapshot of a data is different from this snapshot? So and how we can define or how we can tell that thing?
Yeah. So if you are able to tell at least these 2-3 lines, you have to tell them that by default Oracle application, once it's installed, it will have a base snapshot. And every time when you are applying the patches, every patch comes with a new file versions and all. So this has to get updated in the database. This has to get updated in the all the new files which will come. It has to get updated in the database. So it gets updated in, basically there are 3 tables. If you can name the 3 tables, you can tell them that. So that is what is basically a snapshot. So what is basically a snapshot according to me is, at some place Oracle has to record like whatever patches it has been bringing. For every file in Oracle applications, it has to put it in some of the table. So that is done by a snapshot. If you feel that it is not been synchronized, then you run this particular command. So this will normally, if there are 2 or 3 applications, you run this snapshot in all the Apple tops, and you can tell them that normally this is applied. Normally this is applicable whenever you're trying to add a new language, or there is something like a compatibility prereq. In a compatibility prereq, if some of the patch file, if the patch says that compatible prereq is, as it told right in the document itself, if it says that compatible prereq, then also you have to run that. At least if you are able to tell this, they know, okay, this guy knows it. So this is the table. These are the 3 tables. You can tell them there are 3 tables starting with AD_snap. Don't need to tell specifically. At least you can tell that, oh, there are some tables AD snapshot. So where all this file versions information is stored. So that at least, if you are able to tell that, it's okay. The other one is, sometimes your patch will tell that it is a compatible feature prereq. In that case also you run this. In this case also you run this. And only one option, as I told you, the option is update current view snapshot. In my thing, normally this is the one thing, update current view snapshot. So that's the only thing which is normal. Remaining all are there, but we normally don't use it. Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So now we go to the next one. Right. So here most of the commands we use. The first one, every now and then you use it. So whenever there are invalid objects, sometimes from the database, some people will run util-rp, but if there are, but we run from the compile apps. Like you doubt that there are so many invalid objects, some issues are coming up, then we use this compile app schema. Actually, before patch also we run. We take a count. We take a count of invalid objects. Okay, let me show. Maybe I have the patch.sql file. I have a template I can share with you guys. So normally I maintain that. Even now, that will be patch.xml file. I'll just show you the template I normally follow. If you also want to follow, you can also follow. I think it is star.xls. Patches, right? Right. So you can sort of template. Oh, this is not working. Oh, I think it's invalids. This is the one. Right. Yeah. So like, before patching, what are the invalids? After patching, what are the invalids? So whichever is the client name, acronym, where you applied, in which instance you applied, on date, what is the patch number? So very important thing, like when you apply the patches, even one invalid objects, if you miss, and without knowing this, you apply the patch in production and that has caused some issue, you are in trouble. So that's the reason when you apply the patch in the test instance itself, you need to know, like, what has happened. Like something like this template. Before patching, you compile. Well, how do you do? Don't take directly. Don't take directly. You compile and then take it. So how do you compile? So you compile by the first option. So it just compiles the invalid object. So it will, basically it will compile all the invalid objects. right? Sometimes there will be 100, 200. See, there are few invalid objects you cannot fix it. Few invalid objects you cannot fix it, right? Few invalid objects you cannot, you can never fix it. Whatever is possible, you can, like you have taken the project. When you take a project, you have to take a count of invalid objects. That is your baseline. So you should see that it has never increased. After you have taken the project, it should not, after applying any patches, it has not increased. So at least if you have taken care of that, then you are okay. And then you are okay. So that is the thing. Before patches and after patches also, you need to have. There was some invalids. Yeah, just don't underestimate these invalid objects, because that invalid students, invalids. I also have. I was just trying to find a better option. What is this? 12.2 student. Okay. This is actually much better format. Okay, so this is open. So I'll close this. Yeah, I'll send this. Actually, this is much better. This has almost all the commands also. Like, yeah. So you take the client date, patch number in before and after, and also here also I have put, like, if you are in 12.1.3, what is the first step you do? What is the first step you do? You check whether the patch is there already applied or not. The first step, because you are trying to apply a patch. If it is already applied, it's no use, right? So first step is you check whether it's applied or not. The second step is you compile invalid objects. You compile the invalid object. The third step is you take the count of invalid objects, like, select object name from all objects where this command count of invalid objects. The next one is you apply the patch. In 12.1.3, you apply the patch using AD patch, right? So after that, again, you take the invalid objects. Then you update the patch log. This is in 12.1.3. So in 12.2, the same system. The first step is you check whether the patch is applied or not. The next step is you compile the invalid objects, you take the count. The next one is in 12.2, because it's 12.2, you follow the steps. You run fs clone, prepare, you apply the patch, you finalize, you cut over, you clean up, right? And again, you take the count of invalid objects, update the patch log. Yeah, like yesterday, yesterday I think Srikanth has told, right? ADOPM, and if you want to monitor the patch cycle, you can run this command. So I have kept it. I will send this. In case I have not sent, you just send me a message, a mail, put in the WhatsApp group. I'll put this. This one is like, whenever I have to apply patches, I take this, because here I have all the things what I want. So I don't need to search for, because some customers are 12.1.3, some customers are 12.2. So in one place I have kept it everything, and I can start reusing it instead of instead of searching for different commands. Okay, so that is what compile invalid objects. So whenever whenever you doubt that there are so many invalid objects, you can compile it. Compile menu information is after applying some patches. This both of this compile menu and compile plex fields after applying patches, Oracle applications, the patch readme file post, they tell you to compile the menu information, then you have to do, or they may tell you to compile the plex fields, you do this. Reload jar file is like, if you feel the Java is being corrupted, then in the case you have to run it. Very rare thing, but we are not sure when the problem may occur. So that's why that reload jar file is reload jar file is there, right? So this one. I'll go to this theory of all of them because let me cover the next part and then I'll come to that part. So this one is validate app schema, recreate grants, synonyms and app schemas, maintain multilingual tables, check dual table. Validate app schema. So sometimes you may have to run this command maybe before patching or some requirement. Okay, but we can get that requirement when you have to run this. Yeah. So actually, once you run it, there is a SQL file which is runs again app schema. It will tell you problems you must fix. So once you run it, it creates a LST file. You can open it. After opening the file, it is divided into 3 problems you must fix, specific to apps, not specific to apps, issues you want to address. So if you run that validate app schema, it basically creates a LST file. It runs this SQL file and it creates a LST file. You open that file and you see. So this is normally when you run, that is very important. So that you would have covered in the next slide. So it basically what it does, it creates a LST file and review the report and do this. So issues this task may find is missing or invalid packages, missing or invalid synonyms or invalid objects, right? Still, I'm looking for another line. When you run this. So like immediately after an upgrade or applying a maintenance pack, after a patch has been applied for multiple patches, run it once after you apply all the patches, or after performing export and import, or when doing a custom development, or when you run a runtime engine that suggests problem is coming up from ADDL. So this is very important for us. So there are so many commands, but when you run, so you just chumma, you don't run for every reason. So in any of these cases, you do the ticket. So now it has been executed. So you can come out. This is the LST file. This is the LST file, right? So you can, you can open that file. I'll just show you. So it will tell you. So it is, for example, checking for missing grants and synonyms. So if it says an error, it shows the error. If it says procedure successful, then there are no errors. On a new instance, normally you'll not find. So that is the way how you have to understood. So it's checking for the missing grants or synonyms, and successful means there are no errors. Suppose there is a problem. There is a problem with some of the synonyms. Then you execute the next command. What is that? The second one. Second one is it recreates all the grants and synonyms for the app schema. So when you run it, it's a long activity, but you can run it. Yeah, maybe something. Okay, maybe in between I kill the session. Maybe let me try once more. I will run my favorite. Oh, there is no issues with this. Okay, yeah. So let it run. I will again run it. So yeah, when recreate grants and synonyms is suppose validate app schema shows that there are some synonyms are missing. Then you run the recreate grants and synonyms, right? So what it does, it recreates the grants and synonyms for Oracle e-business public schema, recreates grant and some packages from system to apps, then spawns parallel workers to recreate grants and synonyms. So all of this activity it does for you. So when you do, when you run this command, when there's a custom development, incomplete database migration, patch and admission decisions that fail to run, or when you're installing and maintaining an underlying database component. So if any of these 4 reasons you run it, but I'm pretty sure that when custom development happened, you will never run it. If sometimes you feel that some synonyms are missing, you can run it. There is no harm in running this, that's for sure. Your application can be up, and also you can run this command if you feel that synonyms are missing. The last one is very simple. Check the dual table. Oracle uses this dual table for calculation. So there's a table called dual. You can also do some calculations actually. There's a dual table. There is a dual table. If you see that, I go to 4th option and say 4. So there is a dual table. You can you can also use, if you connect to app schema, some calculations. If you Oracle also uses when for some reasons, so that table should be there, like 4 plus 5, right, from dual table, right? So like this, for some calculation it needs this table. So this particular command will tell you whether the table exists or not. That's all. Right. It is useful for calculations. It is used for calculations. Right. So that is the thing. And now again, yeah. So in this what the first one I showed you, compile app schema, we have seen, which will compile the app schema, right? So very important thing is, for one reason or another, compile apps will never leave you. I think every apps DBA now and then will face issues with this app schema, right? App schema, like there will be some invalid objects which will be having some issues. So when Oracle says that, you may have to compile the app schema. So when this occurs, running the compile app schema response parallel workers to compile the invalid database objects. So some people run UTL RP also on database objects, but in application normally this is preferable, right? I think most of you know that UTL RP also, right? So let me show that. Sometimes I do that, sometimes I do this. If you have to connect to and go to RDBMS, go to admin, and here you can find UTL RP. So this is also UTL RP.SQL file. So how do you run it? So you just basically, I think most of the DBS will be knowing this. This also does a compilation. This also does a compilation of the thing. But specifically with respect to application, you use that compile app schema. So this is also like, see, it has compiled all the database. I think even when you do an upgrade at the end, it compiles, it runs this particular command for you. Yeah, compile app schema, compile menu information. We have seen, like, mostly compile menu information, as I told you, run this task after loading menu entries. We don't load it. So only when Oracle application says it, you run this compile menu information and compile flex field information. This reload file, if you feel like your database has become corrupted because of Java class files, you open an SR, then Oracle says you to run this, then you reload the jar files. Right. So next one is, you can run commands interactively or non-interactively. So how do you run in non-interactively, right? So that is what yesterday we covered this topic. So you can run activities in non-interactive mode also. For example, I want to compile the app schema. So how do I do? Let me see whether in my history it is there. Right. So this is like this command. If you take this command, menu option is equal to compile invalid. Yeah. So this is non-interactive mode. Non-interactive mode. Like yesterday I showed you, right? I keep a list of commands. First, compile invalid objects, take the count, apply patch, apply patch, apply patch, apply patch. Then again compile invalid objects and take the count. So you can do interactively, or instead of that, you can also do it from the non-interactively. This is non-interactive. This is the best approach because it will not ask you for system password, apps password. See, I run it. It will basically does everything for you. It saves more time. We just don't want to waste our time entering system password, and again you enter a wrong password. Sometimes it get logged. So you want to avoid all of them. You can run in a non-interactive mode. So for that, first time it creates a default. If you want to create another default file, if you want, for some reason, if you want to create another default, for example, I can create it for different reasons. I can create it. Sometimes I have to create it. First time it will ask you for all the entries. It will ask you for system password, right? It will ask you for the system password. It basically stores all of this information in that particular file. Next time onwards, it will not ask even for that particular command. So now I execute the same thing. It will not ask you for system and apps password also, because it has stored that apps password and system password in that particular file. That is what is called non-interactive operations. So I just don't want, I've showed you this. And so how do you know the menu options? So if you say AD admin help is equal to Y, you get all of this option, all of this, like generate message file, relinking, generate jar files, compile menu, create grants, you can do all of them. Like for example, check dual table. So check dual table, if you want to run, you just have to go to this particular file and just replace it with the menu option. So that's what is that menu option. That's all. See, it has successfully checked, verified the dual table. That is what is different menu options are there for different purposes, right? Right. AD configuration and management utilities, right? So here we have one. Yeah. So this is again, in all of this, I like this particular topic, because basically the workers management, monitor the worker process, restart and shut down a worker, troubleshoot a worker, relink application program, install new off products, convert the character set. Yeah, this is again an important topic where we have to spend some time, because every apps DBA needs this, AD, how to use this AD controller. So again, I'll show, I will show again, I'll simulate the situation. Okay, I'll simulate the situation. Anytime you want to simulate the situation, you use that compile forms. For every time, whenever I want to give a demo, I use this demo. GLPOINV. So I give a lot of tasks so that it will take a long time. A lot of it will spend, at least you will have a lot of time to debug. So now what you can do, you can open a AD controller, another thing, AD controller, okay, and keep it ready. This is the way you keep it ready, right? So now you have all of these options. So now what you do, you execute this. It will create the tables. Once it creates the table, now you can come here and you can see, like, first one is show worker status. So yeah, nothing is, there is no issues now. So suppose in case it has failed, if it is failed, then you have to identify, like, again, it takes 3 times before it can tell it has failed. Like, it will tell first time it will defer, second time it defer, third time it tells failed. Then you have to open the worker log file, you have to see the issue, you have to fix the issue, and then finally you have to restart the failed job. Then what are all the other options? Why are these options?
Where is the worker log file? Where is the worker in the PM top?
Yeah.
Worker log file.
Yeah. So that is worker log file will be in AnyBase, right? And here you can go to EBS apps. So if at all you doubt, now what you do, you just search for here. Mostly it will be there in the log file. AD worker, AD work star.log. Right. So this is the location where the worker log files are available. So if any worker has failed, then what you have to do? You have to open that particular log file, which worker has failed. And in order to become a very experienced apps DBA, as I told you yesterday also, the more issues you face, the more issues you face, it is more good for you, because you will have, you will have more experience, and you will make a note. You'll make a note of all the issues, and you can fix them. So that is what is this particular topic. So we'll just go with the other options also. What are the still it is running, right? So that's why I ran. Right. So remaining options also we'll see. So with AD controller, you can review, restart a failed job, restart a terminated, shut down a worker, right? So AD controller is run in its own window, not in the same window as AD admin or ADOP. So ADOP will be running on one terminal, and AD controller will be running on other terminal. So you have to run AD controller. Patch, you have to come to patch file system if online patching in progress. You have to be in the run file system if online patching is inactive. So since now online patching is inactive, that's why I ran from the run file system. So you will get all of these options, right? So sometimes what you do, you will face this issue, like, when you open that, you will find this failed one, right? Failed. Then you have to go to that worker log file, and you have to see what is the issue. You have to fix it, and then you have to say restart the failed worker, right? And the worker status, how the status are been assigned, it is like in this order. It is in this order. So it will be like assigned, completed, failed, fixed, restart, restarted, running, wait. So this is the order. This is the order. This is the way how by which you can understand. Now, if it is, for example, it is running, right? So it means that it is running, but the manager will allocate in this one, like, it will be assigned to the worker. The manager will assign a job, the worker will complete the job, and the status will change to completed. If it is having a problem, it will be failed status. If you issue, it will be fixed and restarted. Sometimes you have to restart it, you will have this status. If everything is fine, it will be running. Sometimes it will be idle, then it will be in a wait condition. So now you can see, oh, now the job is completed. So it came out, right? So again, we will run it. Okay. So anytime you can practice this, very nice exercise. Right. So now you can see, again, you run the AD controller. So running. So this is the status. So this is all table. Actually, if you want to go a little deep, so this is all there in the table. So actually, from where it is getting this information? So this is, you are getting this table from, what is the table? What are the two tables? AD deferred jobs. One other one is, anyone? AD deferred jobs.
FND install process.
Yeah. What is that? FND install process.
Install process.
Right. So these are the, so you'll have this table. Actually, all this information actually it is getting from this particular table, AD defer jobs and FND install process, and it is showing you. It is showing if you check the data from this only, it is pulling this information and putting for you. Right. So this is the way how it is run. So first time it will be like in a waiting position, then assigned, then running, then completed. This is a smooth cakewalk. Smooth cakewalk means there are no issues. But when it is running, chances are that it may get failed. If it is failed, then you will fix it. You will fix it. So you will fix it, then the status will become fixed and restarted. Then it is restarted, then it is completed. Only there are two rows, right? Like, two tasks. One, it goes in this order, or it goes this one, this one, this one, and this one, and this one. So this is one of the certification exam long ago. Now they don't have a certification. 238 IZ0 238. So during the time they'll give this flow and they will ask you how it goes. Okay. So when it is a failed, then you open the log file and you open it. Yeah, so basically you open the log file, you see what is the issue, and then you restart it. You see the tell the worker to restart a failed job, right? So that is the first option, restarting a failed job. If a worker fails and cannot be restarted, so sometimes, right, the worker fails and it cannot be restarted for some reason, then in that case you have to follow this one. You tell the worker to shut down, tell worker to shut down, tell the manager that a worker failed its job, tell the manager that worker acknowledged quit, then we restart the patch process. If it is not able to start, then you have to follow this. So even I had to refer these notes. Sometimes suddenly power goes. When you're applying a patch, power goes, right? Power goes, then database is rebooted, application is booted. Now what to do? So I still refer these particular notes. This is a very good option, because even if one small mistake you do, say for example you are applying a patch 12.22 12.14, 10 hours is completed, 10 hours is completed, now it is about to complete, and at that time machine crash. Now if you do any mistake, come on, again the 10 hours is lost, right? And entire database is in out of sync, everything will go for a toss. So this is the correct process. Tell manager that a worker has failed its job. I blindly follow. I come to this document, I'll open this document. So I'll select 4. Tell manager that worker has failed its job. After restarting the database, after the system crash, I start the database and I follow this. I run the AD controller, I select option 4 and option 2. Tell worker to restart a failed job. Then everything is perfect. This is a very rare issue, but if it comes, it can come, right? It can occur. Either database may crash, or the other reason is you may have to increase the database SGA. When patching is running, you have to shut down the database and increase the SGA, because everything is going slow. In that case also, you shut down, you basically stop the ADOP patching process, and you increase the SGA size, and then you have to follow this process, right? So that is what this example, I really like it. Okay, then let me go back. Yeah, so sometimes you may have to terminate a hanging worker process. So there may be, like, some process will be hanging. In that case, you have to find the worker process ID, then you have to say kill -9 the hanging process, then you restart the failed job. Actually, yeah, since you are here, there is a very good Oracle came up with very good PDF. Every time I share with you in every batch, but those are really Oracle PDF. Like if you want to go a little bit deep, right? If you want to go to deep, one of the maintenance uh, uh, one maintenance PDF is there. So yeah. So student docs. So these are all Oracle PDFs. If you just want to go to a next level, you just want to you want to all the installation document, upgrade documents, everything is there. But my favorite is this maintenance. So why is it my favorite? Means here you can take the latest one. I can also share. It comes with installation document, installation also. Here the thing is they give a lot of scenario based. I'll tell you one example. Everything is covered in detail. Okay. Okay, let me go for AD controller. Right. Every command in detail is is covered here. Even whatever scenarios, whatever scenario what I told, even that also, every maintenance activity has been covered here. Like if you want to take to a next level, next level, they'll tell you, like they'll tell you, like one of the worker has failed. How do you determine the cause of the failure? And they will tell you the solution also. They'll tell you solution also. When a worker fails, you do not have to wait until the other workers have. Then you go, they follow this, you follow these steps, you follow these steps. So that's why I like this, because they give you a problem and also they give a solution. This is by Oracle. So if you want to go to a next advanced level, then you may have to go to this document, and whenever you are having free time, same terminating. Mine is a Oracle education material, but this is Oracle prepared documentations, right? So this is a little bit more advanced level. A few of the things which are missing in my document, so that may be covered. So first you complete my education material, then see, you can search for the worker and say kill -9. They'll give you more clear. So how do you restart a process? So all of these are very deeply covered in this particular restarting. See, after same thing, after a machine failure, the steps will be same, 4 and 2. See, basically they would have used this document and they would have created the document. Right, machine crash, shutting down managers. If you want to shut down the managers, so that is what is workers management, and how you work on this. Then AD relink. As I told you, relinking is of two types. One is application programs relinking, and also there are some AD admin. Sometimes you have to relink. AD admin is corrupted. AD OP is corrupted. Then how do you do that? That can be done by adrelink.sh. This is only for AD utilities only. What are AD utilities? AD admin, AD OP, like that. There are a couple of AD utilities are there. If you feel that they are corrupted, then you have to use it. How do you run this command? Like this. Suppose if you doubt, that ADOP is corrupted. ADOP is corrupted. Then you have to run adrelink force.y AD utility ADOP. So this is not for any other product. This is only for AD products only. If they are corrupted, if the command itself is corrupted, so then what you have to do? You have to follow this particular thing. Very rare, but sometimes you may have to run this particular command, or Oracle may ask you to do this. You have to do. Right. The next one is AD Splicer. So this is like, if you want to add a new product. So already there are, like for example, you're in 12.2.8. And in the market, 12.2.11 has come. In the market, 12.2.11 or 12.2.12 has come. In that, there is one product is there. Right? In that, one product is there. And you want that product. But you don't want to upgrade, but you want that product. Then you can do that. Then you can do that using this AD Splicer. Using this AD Splicer, you can do even nowadays, especially in 12.2, whenever you have to add a custom program, you have to, it is only possible using AD Splicer. Any custom program, if you have to bring it, custom program, if you are in 12.13, you may not need it. But in 12.2 onwards, any custom program has to be added using AD Splicer. This is like you purchase a new car, but in that Bluetooth is not there, right? You purchase a new car, but Bluetooth facility is not there. So what you do, you buy from outside and fix it. So same thing. You're running Oracle application, so something, so that particular feature is not there, you bring it. So how do you do this? How do you do this? So actually, there's one particular patch. Let me show you that. not remembering the patch. I think this is all the patches are used. It comes with a particular patch. I just want to show you. No, I'm not. Okay, let me search again with AD splice. I found it. Right. So any custom program, any custom programs you can, any custom programs, especially in Oracle applications. How many people have added a custom program in 12.2 in our batch? Anyone?
Sir, I have added, but it was while upgrade.
Yeah, right. So any product, it comes with this particular patch. Yeah, this is the particular patch. It comes with, it comes with a couple of files. So there are 3 files. You have to open this file and you have to change. Like for example, if you're adding a product called XDO, then you have to update this particular file. Then similarly, these 3 files have to be updated. These 3 files have to be updated, and then you run the AD splice. So what is the use of AD splice? So AD splice means to add a new product to a new product or a custom product, especially in 12.2. Especially in 12.2, it is especially you are in 12.2. Any custom program has to be added using a splice around it. So I will be sharing this command. We can use it and we can add the product. Right, you run this AD splice. It will look for the 3 files. It runs auto config, and after that you log out and log in, and then the new product will be visible for you.
Sir, even
In
this
system administration, I'll be
custom top also we will reach to 20.
we have to add. Yeah. In only in 12.2 onwards, any custom top has to be added using AD splice only. They made it mandatory. So this is actually covered in my system administration. So in that, in that videos we have this how you do this. Right. So that is only one thing called how do you AD splicer is basically to add a new product. It's called off cycle products. They are called off cycle products to add to bring, and in especially in 12.2, as I told you, any custom product has to be added using AD splicer. Right. So sometimes you may have to convert a file, a single file you want to convert from one character set to another character set. You can use AD admin that will convert all the files, but sometimes only one file is missed. Then you can use this file character converter. So the correct command is this one, right? So adncnv, what is your old character set and what is your new character set? What is your old character set and what is your new character set? So it will basically convert from one character set to another character set. Yeah, so that's the one. Yeah, I think this is the last topic of AD utilities, AD reporting utilities. So here, a report on configuration information for installed Oracle application, determine the version and identify long running scripts and other scripts. Okay. So we have a utility in AD top, SQL file. If you go to AD top and if you go to SQL file, and here if you say ADU, so if you run this AD ut config SQL file, it runs and it it creates a LST file. And it gives you the complete information about your system. Complete information about your system, like how many system table spaces are there, what are the rollback segments are there, what is your product version, what are the different products are available. But normally I come here in order to find the level. Okay, so normally I come here because every product has a particular level. So I normally come and I need this information. I may have separate way of doing this, but sometimes I want to know what is my product level, like some product level. So every product has a particular level. So for example, AK is now C8. So sometimes Oracle application may ask you like, what is your product level? So here you can come, what is your AP product level? So mine is C.9. So like that, okay. So like that, every product will have a level. So based on this, they will understand what is your product level, and if at all you have to upgrade it, they will tell you have to upgrade it. So here also, what is shared or installed or inactive, everything is there in this particular thing. So that's what is the first one. It gives you, it gives you list of register products, information of register schemas, NLS init parameters, whether multi-org is enabled, whether multi-reporting currency is enabled, right? And you run it, you get that file, right? So the next command is AD ident. If you want to know the version number, okay. So suppose I want to know the version of this particular file. Maybe I'll take a much better example. So for example, I go to AP Top Oracle, you're troubleshooting an issue. So suppose you're troubleshooting an issue and Oracle application asks you, please, can you tell me the version header, like what is the version of this particular file? So when you run this command, it gives you, so then what you do, you copy this and you update the Oracle SR. You update the Oracle SR. Right? So then Oracle will understand, oh, okay, oh, you are in this particular version. Oh, you are in this version. Okay. So then you apply this particular patch. You apply this particular patch. So then the version will get updated to 120.20, something like that. So that's the reason before applying the patch, you get the version, then you apply the patch. After applying the patch, again you run this particular command and it will give you the new version. You can update your team. Yeah, we applied the patch, and before applying the patch, this was the version, and after applying the patch, this is the version as per Oracle. Now you can test it. So this is the way Oracle will understand. One by like every product will have a every product has a particular level, and every file also will have a level, right? Both of them are very important for you to update Oracle, that each file, what is the version, each product, what is the version. Product version actually you can also find in FNP product installation. You can find from the table also, or you can use the what I told, or you can also find like this. You can also find using SQL command. You can also find like this also. Okay, Oracle asks you, please tell me what is the product level of AD. So you can run this particular command, or you can run the AD qtconfig. It will tell you. Either way, you can find out. You may need this product level. You may need the each of the file level also. That is how you can. Right. So before cloning, we have one last thing what I wanted to show you before really cloning. So there is a I have applied the patch from 12.2 to 12 or 12.2 to 12.14, right? If I open the log file at the end, I'll find a lot of information. So let me open that. Okay, so I'll just show this where the job timing report. So at any point of time, you can find that at any point of time you can find out. Okay, so let me find out the log file. So that will be very easy. So in our case, 12.2 to 12.14, I applied, right? So I will have the log file. So that is what, based on the log file, I will search 12.2.14. Why it is required is, why am I telling you this one is, okay, yeah, so this is the file. Why it is required is, sometimes, right, you apply a patch and you want to know how much time it took, right? How much time it took for the patch to complete, right? That information, if you want to know at any point of time, if you forgot to, open the log file, then you can open the log file. You can open the log file, right? And you go to the end of the file, right? In the end of the file, there will be a list file. A job timing report will be there. A job timing report. So this will have like how much time the patch took. Like you may need, right? Suppose you apply a patch in test instance, you want to apply the patch in production. So you forgot to get that information. So if you open the, if you open the log file, if you open the log file, you will have an LST file. Basically, you can look for job timing report, and you open that file, right? And now you can see all of them, like how many jobs. That's what he told, right? How many jobs have failed, how many jobs are skipped, how many how many are successful. But most important thing is, if you go to the end of the file, you will get how much time the patch took. Okay, so in my case, this patch took 3 hours 20 minutes. Total jobs were so many for this, but yeah, I'm more interested in this, when I started the patch and when I ended this patch. Because when you prepare an upgrade document, they'll ask you how much time it took in the test instance, right? So in that case, you can always refer this. For every patch, you will have this information, and you can open it and you can tell, oh, okay, 3 hours it took for this patch, 1 hour it took for other patch, 1 hour it took patch. Based on that, you can estimate the downtime. So in this, you will have almost everything. This is what is called the job timing report. That's the reason why you should not delete the log files, especially the patch log files, right? So that's pretty much what I have. And with that, we have completed this AD release. Now we are ready for the cloning. So which I'll be starting from next week, right? So cloning, and also we have very interesting topic. Like I told you, I implemented all the shared applicant file system. We have our own DNS servers. I'll be showing you how to prepare the DNS. Everybody can have your own DNS server. So the DNS server can be used for load balancing. Yeah, the DNS server can be used for load balancing, and also it can be used for it can be used for scan IP also. I think even Sridhar is missing. Actually, in the previous batch also, he asked me, like, how do you, sir, can you show me, how do you how we can have our own DNS server, right? So for everything you need a lot of time, and these are all not our area, right? These are all not our area. And also you need to get the correct documentation, to crack something, right? So finally, now I have I can say the total command, total command on this DNS, right? In the DNS, so we can add like records, like for scan IP. Now I've added it, right? So now, once I add this, right, like for scan IP, there are two files. Actually, there are two files. Right? There are two files. You just have to make entries. Then I'll be covering in detail the next batch, from next week onward. But I just curiosity. Then you can say NS lookup, this rack scan. You can run it. If it is not firing, then it means that you have not yet updated your resolve.config file. So your name server, your names server, I don't know what is the correct spelling. So let me get that. Because it basically has to search a name server, the DNS server. So normally in companies, this will be taken care by your Linux administrators. But in our case, okay, we want to troubleshoot it. So you have to mention the name server. Where is your DNS server? Because it has to search. So now once you do that, you can see now the NS lookup is working, and even the load balancer also the same way I configured. Load balancer also. There are some issues, but I resolved it. Now with the help of this, I'm able to implement our shared application file system. I already implemented it. So yeah, so which I'll be covering from next week onwards. So that's all I have for today. We'll
Sir, the scan IP, why you are mentioning the scan IP here in the rack, because of the rack?
Yeah, for the rack, right? I promised that we'll have a rack. So we will also have a rack, right? Because you know what? Yeah, so I created 2 rack instances. I'm using that scan IP for our rack. I showed that we'll move our applications to rack also. That also in Oracle Enterprise Linux 8. I also have never tried it, but I successfully have installed. But for that, when you have rack, right? So in rack, you need a scan IP, right? In earlier times, I used to make an entry in etc host file. Earlier days, I used to make an entry in the etc host file. I want to avoid that, and I want to have this DNS server in professional. It will be more professional. So that's why I have. See, now if you see this, that's the advantage of having a.
Sir, again, we have to create a new Linux machine or Windows machine for DNS.
Yeah, in my case, I'm creating one DNS server, one machine for DNS, right? Low configuration also is fine. So yeah, so see, if you see that how many instances are running, totally 5 are running. For my rack, this is entirely different. Only I wanted to work on racks. That's why I did the installation today.
No.
So this is my rack, and this is my DNS server. And for shared application file system, I have application 1 and application 2. So since I have 64 GB and I'm literally able to play around with them, it gives me an opportunity to work on different technology, because I have to teach you guys, right? So at least to teach you, I have to get ready. So that's the reason I have been working. So most of them are coming to a good end. But yes, a lot of effort is there in all of this. So I also want to keep my documents up to date. Why am I doing? Actually, I have to tell you 2 things. One is I have to teach all of them. And also at the client side, now everybody has moved to 8. This year, almost all customers will be moving to 8, because even I got a message in my company. One of the server is running on 7.9. Now they wanted to move to 8. I think by by next year, March or April, 7 is going to, it's getting expired. So after that, they will not support.
Sir, one more question. Yeah, sir. Next week cloning means it's 19C cloning or 12C cloning.
No, 19C cloning only. I'll be going with 19C cloning only.
So actually didn't got the upgraded, right? Actually,
Yeah,
my
that upgrade also I'll be covering. Yeah, upgrade also I'll be covering, and then we'll be doing. But I don't want to cover only 12C cloning. I'll be covering 19C cloning.
Okay, but after upgrading only you will go for the cloning, no, sir?
Yeah. So yeah, let me plan myself how I can do. But I'll be covering the 1210 to 19C upgrade. I'll be covering. But let me plan myself how I'm going to do before or after. I will plan, and I'll do the best thing for that. Okay, na?
Okay.
Okay then, guys. So then we'll catch up
Sir,
tomorrow.
Sir, regarding autoconfig, usually sometimes we run autoconfig in a format like if you have got 4 nodes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then again 3, 2, 1, you do that. Why do we do that?
Right. See, the primary node should be the last one. Like, you run from the primary node, like primary node 1, 2, 3, 4. So what will happen is sometimes the fourth node information will be in the ICX parameter table, right? You have an ICX parameter table. You may have the fourth node information. So you don't want that to happen, because ICX parameter is very important table.
Okay.
So we may want your primary node to be finally have that information. Okay. So there is an ICX parameter table. Yeah, we do. Even in rack also we do that. Whatever you're telling. Even rack also we run on node 1, node 2. Again we'll come back to node 1. Even in applications also, if there are 3 applications, we run on node 1, node 2, node 3, again in node 1. So maybe the third node is like iSupplier node. For example, I'm telling. If you run autoconfig on iSupplier node, what happens is in ICX parameter table, right? You will have the third node information, because whenever autoconfig runs, home URL. I was looking for this one. Home URL, because based on this only your application will open. Okay. Say for example, you have two applications, one main application and second application iSupplier. So suppose you run autoconfig on the iSupplier node. What will happen is this will have iSupplier information. So whenever the team is they try to open the production, it goes to iSupplier node. The reason is because in the last node you have you have run autoconfig. So that's the reason why what we do. We again run on the first node. When you run the first node information will be there. That is your primary node.
Okay, so iSupplier is like a end node that will connecting to the customer.
Yeah, iSupplier is like for vendors you use it. So that will have a separate URL. It is only for the vendors, suppliers. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So we don't want that, right? So that's the reason why we don't. So that's the reason. So keep it maybe blindly or whatever. The reason is this one. But whenever you run autoconfig on primary node, secondary node, so again we come back to secondary and primary node. Or you run on secondary node, then come to primary node. But always keep primary node the last node. Primary node is the last node, because your admin server is also there on the primary node. So you have it. Okay.
Okay.
So that's
okay,
what I
sir.
have. So then,
Sorry, sir. Sir, in admin server and managed servers, question was asked like if managed servers are brought down in any case, or what happens to the admin server? Will it keep working or will it come down?
Right.
It will keep working, right?
Yeah. They'll keep running. You need only admin server to start. After that, you literally play around with managed server. Nothing happened to the admin server. Even admin server is stopped also, no problem. Your managed server is running, your application will run.
Okay, but if managed servers are down, then and if you're trying to start the admin server, then in that case it will be a problem, right?
No.
If you're trying to start it again.
No. The process is first admin server will start, then all the managed servers will start. If admin server if admin server is already started and all the managed server are started, then nothing will happen. But if all the managed servers have come down and the admin server also has come down, first admin server has to be started, then only managed server has to be started.
Okay, but if managed service is running and admin is down, then still
No
managed
problem.
server
No
continue to
problem.
run. Okay.
Yeah, continue to run. When because it is already started, right? Because it is already
Okay.
started, so they come to run. They come to run. Unless they are brought down, then only need the admin server. Otherwise, you don't need. So yeah, that's the thing.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye guys.